Hello, hello. Hi, everybody. Hello, everybody.
How
How
are you
are
guys
you all
doing?
doing? Is this your first live with us? If yes, let us know. Is this your first live with us? Or are you like an old timer? Either way, let us know. Hi, Rain. Isa, I love that you're here.
I see Isa on every live.
I
She doesn't miss one.
love that. Hey guys, as you're coming in, let us
Day
know.
day.
Is this your first live with us, or are you like a live junkie with us? Have you been to several lives over the last 4 years? First live! Oh my god, Akashic Music says first live, new. Hola!
Hi Shell, hi Olivia, hi Juliet, Ben, Suzanne.
It is so lovely to connect with you all today. We are pumped, we are supercharged, and that's the transmission we have for you guys. It literally feels like we are being asked to transmit the codes of bliss that we're feeling in our lives right now. Can you guys feel it? Can you guys like feel it off of us through time, space, dimensions, and laptops and whatnot?
Yeah, guys, honestly, we've been coming in such huge alignment since the beginning of 2024. It's like every single day that we walk forward, we're dropping beliefs, we're dropping limitations, we're dropping all kinds of cages that Eldora spoke about on her podcast as well. And some of that will be covered in today's topic, which is all about how the divine feminine frequency is rising on the planet and how we've taken so many burdens. that
Divine
we're dropping.
feminines, come on, give me a little bit of love.
We're creating a lot of junkies. Everyone's a junkie about something.
So powerful, right, Shell? Oh my God. Where do we even start? Okay, so first of all, I just want to say today was an amazing day. We went to our favorite 5D office by the beach. We worked for a few hours and then we went, dipped in the water. It was amazing. I almost had like a crazy, horrible moment where the wave, Didi, don't laugh. I know you're going to laugh at this so much. So Siman was a bit far away and there was this big wave and I'm like, of course I can do it because this friend of mine, Didi, she's like, you just have to sit down in the wave. All these stupid tricks I tried, they don't work. So I sat down in the wave knocked the fuck out of me. And then I come out and I'm like, where's my hat? And I have my hat and both my boobs are out.
And it was so funny. I was like running from far. I was
She's
more
like,
worried
he's
about.
like,
I was more worried about her privacy. I'm like just pointing
And I'm like,
without
what's he
shouting.
looking at? I'm
I
like,
didn't
are my
want to attract
earrings?
attention, and I was like silently pointing, and I was like,
And there were two
in
guys
shock.
right beside me, and I'm like, I got my hat, I'm not hurt.
And she's
Simon's
like, why is he pointing?
Simon's
What's
like,
wrong?
baby.
And she's like, what's wrong? What's wrong?
And unfortunately, this is not the first time. Guys, I need some better bathing suits. Like everything's just, anyway.
It's the Tulum waves. We'll blame it on that.
Exactly. And then, 5 years ago, I'd be so like, ooh, my boobs. And now I'm like, big
Yeah,
deal. It's just a
exactly.
freaking body part. Who cares? Serafina, nice to see you. Okay, so what else? So we literally feel like so first of all, I just want to share with you guys. For some reason, I feel super called to share with you all. Do you guys remember how many of you remember us from exactly 4 years ago? August Lionsgate 4 years ago. That was what, 2019 or 2020? 2020, when we lived in Toronto, Canada. Do you guys remember? We were just doing normal things. We just started our YouTube channel. We had no idea what our soul's mission was. We had no idea what any of this was. We were just following our joy, like you guys are following now, your joy. But we hadn't stepped into our divine missions. We were in Toronto. It was so dark and dingy. COVID hadn't hit yet. We didn't even know COVID was about to hit. We just, out of our depression, we're like, let's do something, let's buy something. So we went and bought a big freaking Audi Q7 SUV, $100,000 SUV, and we're like, we feel better. Like, when you shop and you feel better because you just hate living in Canada, that was us. We just felt like we were in the matrix, stuck in the matrix, and we didn't know how to get out of it. Once we bought the Audi, we're like, okay, now we're here for 4 years because we're stuck. We have a 4-year lease to pay off. And do you guys remember we were on our way to Montreal and our Audi was in a massive car crash, massive.
It was like a 6-car pileup, and we literally like got away with our lives because this car that crashed into us came at like 100 kilometers an hour, and we were untouched.
We
but
walked
the car
out
was
untouched.
totaled.
The Audi was totaled. We walked out untouched. We were in shock, and 2 seconds after the crash, Mr. Siman Ra, guess what he says? He's like, baby, I don't know how to say this to you, but I'm getting the message that we just walked into a portal, and he's like, don't freak out. And I'm like, yeah, that resonates.
Yeah.
So we were like the first people to get out. We got a rental car and off we went. And guess what? That was a brand new Audi that we got totaled. By some mistake, Audi sent us back a check for $10,000 saying, here you go, there's more money for you and whatever. It was just, and then we got the guidance to get the hell out of Canada because something crazy was about to happen and we didn't know about COVID. So we took the first flight to Costa Rica on September 1st. We flew to Costa Rica and we never went back to Canada. True story, you guys. We left our house, and long story short, we had actually, right, Olivia, you remember, Nicole, you remember, who else remembers? Who else knew us from that time? 4 years ago, exactly. So anyway, we went, what happened? We left Canada, we had a house. To cut a long story short, we had helped this girl. We had never met her in Toronto, but we had helped her because when her husband had a heart attack, she had said to us, I have nobody to turn to, Elder and Saman. I don't even know you guys, but I feel like you guys can help me. And we had helped her out. So what we did was we had said to her, we're going to Costa Rica, you can have our house. And she moved into our house. So we just did it by the goodness of our heart. And our guide said that one decision you made is going to change, is going to affect you. And we had no idea what that meant. When we went to Costa Rica and we got guidance saying, hey, COVID's about to hit, you're not going back. This girl, to pay us back, she manifested another home in Montreal, but to pay us back, she's like, I'm going to make sure I get all your furniture sold, all your crystals sold, move everything that's not sold, like Saman had made me a painting and whatnot, move to storage. And just like that, everything, our entire Toronto timeline was collapsed just like that, and we walked into a major portal. This year, it completes 4 years.
And it's so ironic, not ironic, it's so symbolic that this year is the decision we're deciding, this year is the deciding year for us to move to Mexico, because now we feel that we need a new anchor. And this 4 years was just like training. It was training for New Earth. And now 2024 feels like the first year that the training wheels are off and now we're on our mission.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's 2024 feeling for you guys? Does it feel like you're really activating to your soul's mission? Do you feel like you're finding a new direction in life, or do you feel completely lost like a whirlwind and you're not sure what's happening? Do you feel like you're going in the right direction? Let us know in the comments.
And guys, honestly, Saman, I'm laughing because he just said our training wheels have come off. We keep saying that. We keep thinking, okay, finally, this is the year of our mastery. And then there's more lessons that come up and more lessons that come up. It never ends. And that's the beauty of Ascension. Yeah. It never ends. Even Jesus, even Metatron, even all these archangels, Michaels and whatever, they are still evolving. So it never, ever, ever ends, right? So today we literally were guided to come online to share a very strong message that's coming up. I love that. You guys are saying your timelines are collapsing.
Yeah,
he says,
right now there's so many major shifts. This is like a major transition month. The whole month of March energetically is about transitioning, cleansing the old, detoxing not only your body but your surroundings, like lightening up your belongings. And we're also moving to a new place. Many people are in a transition right now. So transition is the theme. And if you're feeling stuck in life, if you feel like you're hitting a dead end in a relationship, or your job is not fully satisfying, or you need to make a change, life is not giving you that meaning on a soul level, right now is really the time to think about your options, what excites you, what direction you're going in. Because come April, the energies are going to be supporting all the decisions that we're making towards going into a higher timeline. So if we take steps with this energy, it's going to help us, propel us, and amplify whatever intentions we're setting and take us in the right direction.
So big. So guys, today's literally our whole download today is about how something major is happening on the planet. And all of you girls, you guys are going to love it. I was guided to start a brand new podcast, the Eldora Rose podcast, dedicated to the divine feminine. And when this guidance came in, it came in from the sun. I got a channeled message saying, call it codes from the fifth dimension, the Eldora Rose podcast. And I was shown that this is a major podcast, like something, a lot of channeled guidance is going to come in. Since then, so by the way, for those of you who want to check out the podcast, go to www.nems.love, nems.love/podcast, and you'll see it there. There's 4 episodes. And even men are watching it. Somebody just commented, she said, oh my God, my husband is so excited that it's episode 4. We're addicted to your podcast. And I feel like it's because it has a frequency. It's very easy. It's very light. It's not like fast paced like how the world has become. And I think people are really enjoying that. But what the message we are getting and what we are seeing in our lives right now is that the divine feminine frequency is coming on. It's activating within us, because as Mother Earth's Kundalini is activating and rising, so is our Kundalini, so is our divine feminine energy. And the divine feminine energy is here to counteract, be an antidote to all the toxic masculine energy that has been prevalent on Earth for so long. In our lives, literally, it feels like this tsunami of divine feminine grace, love, wisdom, power, feistiness, sexiness, balance, passion, creativity has just taken over our lives.
And that applies to both of us, not just Eldora.
Yes.
The divine feminine frequency is like this Kundalini feminine frequency that's rising in myself and Eldora at the same time. And this goes for all men out there. We're all divine feminines within a certain ratio. And this awakening, this ascension, is all about the divine feminine rising, because so far this world has been under the burden of the toxic masculine frequency. And our planet is a goddess
Yes.
Gaia, right? So goddess Gaia is awakening, and she's saying, in order for me to awaken, I'm letting go of all this toxic masculine burden I have taken on, of all the wars, of all the environmental abuse that we have put her through, of all of the toxic emotions and the hatred and separation consciousness that we've been carrying on for the last 25,000 years on this planet. All of these things are embedded in the grids of the planet. So one of the things that is happening, because Gaia has decided to go through an intense detoxification, purging, and healing phase. See the
Yes.
patterns? We're going through detoxification because Mother Earth is going through
Yes.
her detoxification. So as she purges this toxic masculine energy that's stuck in her grids, all of this energy rises to the surface of our planet. And because humanity is not awake yet, they unconsciously play out the patterns of chaos, because the energy that's stuck in the grids that needs to rise to the surface to be healed is all of the chaos of the past thousands of years of drama
Wow.
that have unfolded on the planet. And once we purge this energy, then a golden age of peace can arrive. But first we have to solve all of these equations, release all these toxic emotions from our bodies, and through land healing from Mother Gaia. That's one of the reasons we were inspired to host the New Earth Ascension Festival, which is taking place on August 8th. It's going to be one of the most powerful days of the year, 8/8 Lionsgate, and this is the 8th year.
For those of you hearing it for the first time, drum roll.
Yeah, so this is a music festival where Eldora and I DJ. There's hundreds of light workers coming. We're expecting close to 200 to 250 light workers gathering in Tulum on August 8th.
For 1
And
week.
For 1 week, we're going to be having dance parties, and it's a completely sober event. Families are welcome. There's a huge daycare.
The daycare is the best part.
There's a huge daycare in the venue. And so Eldora's even holding a women's only kind of like red tent kind of ceremony.
But I want to tell
get
them how
into
I
that
got
later.
to that.
Yeah, we'll get into that later. But the point is, the reason our intention for holding these festivals was to support ourselves, each other, and planet Gaia in this ascension. So what we
Yes.
do is we host huge light worker Gaia grid land healing ceremonies. And this is your way, this is your chance to show your support for this ascension. If you think that you can't make a difference, try coming to one of these ascension festivals and setting world prayer intentions for ourselves, for our generations, for our children, and for healing of this planet, so that we make this transition into new earth in the most peaceful way possible. And these prayers, these land healing ceremonies that we hold are so precious, they're so amazing, they're so powerful, that we've seen shifts with our naked eyes.
Yes, massive
In last
shifts.
year Tulum festival, when we did a similar ceremony and sent prayers for the healing of Gaia with 200 light workers, actually 150 light workers, they were there last time. And within 3 days of setting those prayers,
True story.
the whole ocean
Seaweed.
cleared of the seaweed.
Guys, this is a true story.
This was not just like a speck.
There was
few specks of
kilometers.
seaweed. It was like if you pile it up, it'll be the size of
Okay,
your house.
so let me tell you. So imagine we're about to hold a festival, and we're like, shit! Look at how much. All of a sudden, Mother Gaia purged, and there was kilometers of seaweed. So imagine all these people flying in from Australia, Hawaii, India, America, Canada, coming to Tulum, and the ocean is unswimmable. So Siman and I set intentions, and we were told, don't worry, in the next 3 days, everything's going to clear. And we're like, okay, perfect. And then everybody arrived. The ocean was full of seaweed. We all set intentions, and within 2 days of everyone arriving, crystal blue waters. And here's the best part. It was just on a kilometer of the beach where our festival was taking place.
Yeah.
All of Tulum was talking about it. That's how powerful it
And-
is when we come together.
Exactly, and the servers and the staff who worked at the retreat center, they were shocked. They said, I'm a believer based on what I've seen. I've never seen this happen in my 20 years.
Yes. And so what we do at House of Ra, so House of Ra is a channeled name as well. It's a channeled Ascension festival for light workers with the intention of bringing light workers together in ceremony, music, dancing, laughter, sisterhood, brotherhood. It is the most precious thing we do. Out of everything we do, we do a million things. House of Ra is the top of our list. We have so much fun doing it, so we can't wait. For those of you who need to take vacations or whatever, you might want to start thinking about it, because this is the Ascension party you don't want to miss. Okay, so there is a big message coming in for the divine feminine, okay? This is something that you may be touching on at a surface level, but I really want you to grasp the enormity of this lesson. About 2 weeks ago, Siman and I went on a sacred mushroom journey. We were extremely strongly guided to go on a sacred mushroom journey, just the two of us. So we took mushroom medicine, we created a temple of light, and we kept going deep, and my belly started hurting like crazy. Remember how much pain?
Yeah.
Like I was in excruciating pain. And that doesn't usually happen. Like my stomach healing happened like 2-3 years ago, 5 years ago. And Osho came in. Many of you know the Ascended Master Osho. So Osho is, he actually passed away, I believe, in 1990. He lived in India. And he was this very flamboyant, multi-millionaire spiritual teacher who was very mocked because of his flamboyancy, but he was a very pure channel of source, and he had some very profound teachings, especially of the ego. So Osho came in our medicine ceremony, and the reason that we have all these Ascended Master visitations is because when we do medicine, our cells are vibrating at a higher level. Literally, we've seen so much magic. I won't get into it right now. We've seen so much magic, like daggers, curses being removed from people's hearts, and the next month they manifest their soulmate, happily married forever after.
These are called psilocybin mushrooms, for those who are wondering. Golden teachers.
It's medicinal magic mushrooms. We use so we've seen all kinds of magic, and yet this time when Osho came, I went through another major magical moment. And that's what I want to get across in this transmission. So Osho came in and he said, Eldora and Siman, but this was it for you too? This was mainly...
I had a different healing, but it was
different
mainly...
healing. So Osho came in and he said, Eldora, there comes a point in your life when the bird is ready to fly out of the cage. And he said, it was very quick. He said, just close your eyes and imagine, just tell me, do you see a cage around you? And I'm asking all of you this, just literally, psychic vision. Do you feel a cage around you? This cage represents the matrix that we're all in. This cage represents all of our mind programming, religious programming. Don't do this. You're a sinner if you do this. You're a sinner if you fall in love. Adultery is a sin.
Or I'm responsible for others'
Drinking,
well-being.
alcohol is a sin. All this. If you don't go to church, it's a sin. If you don't pray 5 times namaz, it's a sin. All of these become the cage, and that's why we're in the matrix. And he said, do you feel the cage around you? And I said, yeah, Osho, I feel it. And he said, now tell me, look at the door of the cage. Tell me what you see. So he was trying to show me how the cage had a bird inside, but the bird didn't realize the door of the cage is wide open. So he said, what do you see? And I said, the door is open. The cage door is open. So he said, what would you like to do now? And this was all very intuitive. It wasn't like mind. In the mushroom ceremony, we were extremely like connected to source. My soul flew out of the cage. Osho gave us a few messages. He actually gave me a massive, Metatron came in. He gave me a massive healing of my soul matrix. It was one of the most powerful healings I've ever received. My soul matrix was damaged because of all my childhood trauma, my childhood like abuse and whatnot. And he gave me a very powerful healing because it was time. And he left. Guys, so in the last 2 weeks, this one breakthrough of just flying out of the cage has changed my life. And that's what I want to talk to you guys about today.
Yeah, and I don't think Eldora is doing justice to that event, because this was like a very enlightening event, to say the least. This is something that a soul only faces, like flying out of the cage when you've done enough of the inner work, that you're just ready to drop this invisible cage of self-limiting beliefs that we have created for ourselves.
Yes.
I'm going to say that again. Once a soul reaches a certain level of enlightenment and has done enough of the inner work, the divine gives you an opportunity to fly and soar.
Yes.
So enlightenment does not come from the student's efforts. You cannot effort yourself into enlightenment. It is a gift from the divine. So all we can do as students of the Ascension is keep on dropping layers of shadows, doubts. And Eldora and I, this year, we stepped our game up to the next level, guys. We stepped into this new year with the intention that we are embodying source in every aspect of our lives. And anywhere where we are avoiding something, anywhere we are hiding something from ourselves, or trying to fool ourselves, or not looking at our shadows, or escapism, anything, like all this minor stuff that is remaining.
Taking others' burdens.
We're literally taking our sword of truth and saying, I'm no longer allowed to bullshit myself.
Yes.
And I'm here to embody the divinity within me. And once you really at a soul level set that intention, every single day that you walk on earth, new and new veils will be dropping, and you will feel like you're flying.
Yes.
So that's why Eldora went through this enlightening experience where her soul flew out of the cage, because we're already ready to soar. And we're just saying, no more playing small. We are done. We're here to anchor our divinity and be the badasses, be the guardians, be the keepers of planet Earth. And we're here to really fully embody our power, explode our abundance, and really step into it this year. No more waiting.
No more
This
procrastinating. This is the freaking year. Okay, so thank you for that. That was amazingly explained.
That was needed.
We've had so many of these experiences that I kind of like played small for how
we're like,
big.
Flew out of the cage.
Osho came, maybe I flew out the cage, whatever. Osho came!
Exactly.
Literally, sometimes I feel like...
Just because
anyway,
it happens a lot.
Metatron came! Guys, so this is something I want to tell you. Now, this is a story that's very, very personal, but I'm always sharing personal stories because this is our vortex. Our vortex is all about stories. So this whole thing with Osho happened, and what I was shown is that the pain that I was feeling in my belly was this extreme, excruciating pain that many of you will resonate, especially you feminines. The pain of taking on other people's burdens. I don't care who is watching. I don't care if you think, no, it's not me. Trust me when I tell you, this is one of our biggest blind sides. And before I tell you what happened, I want to tell you something very powerful. You know, when I was feeling bad about how much burden I still take, and I was feeling all of this pain in my stomach, and I birthed it. I literally feel like I birthed it. It came out of me. It felt like a 1-ton brick. And I was feeling really bad, like, damn, I'm taking so much burden still. Like, I'm such an amateur. I'm still such a rookie. Like, come on, this is basic curriculum. And you know what Prime Creator Source said? We felt like the voice of God channel in and like Spirit channel in. And you know what Spirit said? To all of us. Spirit said, for all of you, divine mothers, divine sisters, all of you, beautiful women, even the men who are activated in their feminine, for those of you who take burden, do not for 1 second think that that's a distortion in you, or do not for 1 second feel sorry, like, oh man, I'm still taking burden.
That it's your fault.
Don't feel like it's your fault. You are the lionesses. You belong to the lioness tribes of the higher realms. I'm getting emotional. And you taking burden is a symbol of how unconditionally loving, how
strong.
empathic, how strong, how tenacious, how caring, how sweet you are. And so don't for a second think that it's a curse to take on other people's burdens. So
and Metatron said it in these exact words, that it's not that it's not that women are taking on the burden and that's something wrong they're doing in their behavior. He said the burden was thrust upon women because men have literally dropped the ball in the last couple of thousands of years. And I'm speaking in terms of enlightenment and consciousness. When I look around, I see women awakening in droves, and I see men are catching up. They're doing really well, but men, it's really time to step up and match the divine feminine frequency, because it's time. Honestly, guys, it's time.
Yes.
We can't drag our feet anymore.
Yes.
And right now we need all the divine warriors of light, whether it's men or women, to take their positions and anchor in this ascension energy by committing it within yourself.
Yes, guys, and honestly, you know how they're showing it to us is that Mother Gaia needs this to come online in her grids. And we get it online in her grids by activating in our grids. So when we activate this divine feminine frequency of not taking burden, and also for the men to stand up and be the guardians and the loving protectors and the co-creators with the divine feminine, some things will shift. And you know, even in our own office, in our own team, we started to notice a trend. We started to notice we have 4 girls, like we have a core team and then we have a few other extra employees on the outer team. But I'm just talking about my core team. It's like 5 people plus the 2 of us. We call, like a name was channeled for us, the Office of Christ, because we're literally taking instructions from Yeshua, Melchizedek, Metatron, Isis, and carrying out our divine mission on planet Earth. What we started noticing was that the feminine in our group, still not divine feminine, is taking on all this burden. So one of the girls who works with us, Starla, is an example of that. Hardworking, like she's supposed to work 5-6 hours a day. Sometimes she'll work 8 hours because she's so giving. She's so giving. Many of you can relate. And I want to talk about how powerful our vortex is and how Starla just made the jump, and somebody else who was in our vortex, core member of our team, exited the team. So in the last month, we've actually let go of 2 members in our core team, and both of them were in our core team, but they were showing up without passion. They were showing up without this high level of service. Leadership. They were taking a lot of leeways. They were being lazy at times, and most importantly, they like this one guy. You know, we loved him to death. And guys, I don't even know how. This is such a big example. And all of this happened after Osho. So bear with me because I have to unravel the story. What happened was Osho showed me, he's like, because you have this burden-taking energy in your womb, you are making a lot of dumb mistakes.
Wrong
Eldora,
decisions.
you are making wrong decisions. My phone battery may die any moment, but it's fine.
It'll last. It's good for now.
And he said, you are, so basically he showed me how, so there was this one lovely guy, I don't even know where to go. So about 4 years ago, I actually asked my son, my birth son, he was 16 or 17 at the time, he was very narcissistic towards me. And I let him go. I stood in my power and I said, you know, I've been the most loving mother to you, but now you need to go. You need to go live with your dad because your abuse will no longer be tolerated. And my guides applauded me. 1 week later, I started my YouTube channel. 1 month later, we left Canada. We're now fully on our divine mission, 100 million%. We're activated. We're here as channels of God, literally. We're here saying, God, what do we need to do? We step aside, let you take over.
We've aligned our will to divine will. And we've allowed our higher selves to work through us.
Now, because I didn't get the deeper message, I repeated the same thing that I did with my son again with this lovely young guy who worked with us. 3 years ago, he applied as a video editor. He lived with his parents in his parents' house in Poland. He didn't have a job, and we took him on. And I was completely blind because I had this mother cord of taking burden. This is huge, guys. I want you to really pay attention because this is a very intimate, vulnerable story, and I'm sharing this, and I hold all of you, including the people I'm referencing, in my love, because this is for the betterment of humanity. What happened was I started taking on his burden. Even when he was slacking at work, even when he was dumping all his work on Starla, even when he was, like, Starla is a goddess. She's like a warrior. She'll take on everybody's burden, just like all of us. And this is no longer being allowed. And I'm going to talk about Starla in a second. So this boy started showing us that he was not passionate. He didn't have drive. And no matter how hard we tried, he wasn't able to get into the actual embodiment of gratitude. From 3 years, his message was learn gratitude, learn drive, learn passion. These are basic frequencies. But guys, I was completely blind because of my mother cord. My son left. Now this boy became like my son, my spiritual son. And after Osho came, you know what Osho said to me? He said, you're not just doing yourself a disservice by not hiring leaders, activated freaking leaders who can hold their weight, who have passion, who have the frequencies you deserve. But he says Osho said, you're also doing this boy a disservice. You know how? By taking on his burden, I am not letting his soul crack open and stand on his own feet. I'm not giving him the opportunity to say, oh shit, Eldora and Saman, this container that I'm just taking for granted has gone away from my life because they've now fired me. Holy shit, what am I going to do? I have no choice but to activate my masculine because he's too feminine. He doesn't want to work hard. He just wants to escape. And so Osho said, you're doing yourself a disservice. And I'm talking to all of you right now. You have children. You have a spouse. Let's say your spouse is not activating. Let's say your children are like literally bullying you and bossing you over, or not working hard. They're lazy. They're like unhygienic. They're not clean, whatever the story may be, not going out and getting a job. You are empowering them and enabling them by keeping them in your house and saying, I'm going to take your shit. I'm going to tolerate your, lack of drive, lack of passion, lack of all of this. And this is no longer being allowed. And listen to how powerful our vortex is. One day before all this happened, Starla made a jump and this boy exited. You know what the jump Starla made was? We had a team meeting. And Starla looked very not triggered, but she was like, she had her serious face on. And I knew Starla is never like that, something's off. So I said, Starla, what's going on? Tell me. Starla has worked with us for 2 years. She's like you guys. She was our audience. She applied to work with us and she's a core member of our team. Very, very beautiful angel. And Starla said, I just want to let you know that I have been taking on this boy's responsibility. I say this boy because I don't want to take his name, but he's still very dear to us. But my point is, it's a lesson that I want to transmit. She said, I'm not okay with this Eldor and Saman because I feel like he is dumping all his work on me. And so we spoke to him. We said, this is no longer allowed. You can't dump your work on Starla, Tigris, Eldora. He doesn't dare dump his work on me, but he dumps it on all the feminine. And Saman said to him, these 4 girls are more masculine than you. You need to activate your masculine. Next day, this Osho thing happens. And guess what? Because Starla used her voice, we've been teaching her for the last 1 year, you're not the fucking doormat. You are not a doormat for other people's garbage. Burdens. You need to activate your voice. You need to not have this slavery consciousness that I'm this donkey that just has to work 20 hours a day. I'm telling all of you this. Women, I'm talking to all of you. You're not doormats who have to take this shit anymore. And Starla, because she voiced her opinion, and she in the team meeting, and she's like, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to let you dump your work on me. I'm realizing that I'm doing your work and my work and extra work for Eldor and Saman out of my love. This is not allowed anymore. Because of that one mastery activation in her, Starla got invited to our upcoming mushroom retreat, by the way, which is coming up in April 20th. We're hosting a medicinal mushroom retreat with quantum Metatronic healing. And it's everybody's dream to get invited as staff to these meetings. And guess what? Starla got invited. Why? She used her voice to say, I'm not going to take burden of anybody else. And that was an activation. Right now, all of you are being asked to jump up rather than go in these toxic masculine or toxic feminine ways of saying, I'm a doormat, I have no voice, come abuse me, come belittle me, come bully me, I'm codependent on you. It's not being allowed. So all of this happened, and overnight, this guy was asked to leave the vortex with love because he now needs to crack open. He needs to be like, oh shit, this rug has been taken away from under my feet. I have no choice but to work hard. I can no longer get these stupid people like Eldora and Saman anymore who are going to keep like showering me with gifts and love and whatnot, and I can just dump all my work on Starla. No longer allowed. So he exited and Starla got a promotion, meaning she's invited now to Tulum, and her whole timeline has changed because of this one activation.
That was huge, guys. Honestly, it was also a chord for me because I also hold this father like I am responsible for everyone. And both Eldora and myself are very parent-like. We're very nurturing people. We're always, we mean well, but sometimes the best of us, like, we can't see our unconscious behaviors. And the unconscious behavior that we discovered at a very deep layer, and this will be the breakthrough for many people who take burdens. If you are following these patterns of taking burdens from others, this will help you a lot. The subconscious belief that the divine feminine in me and Eldora holds, both of us hold, is that my value, my self-worth is tied to taking care of others. How many people resonate with that?
Just absorb
how
that.
many, especially women, how many women are programmed from a young age that you're supposed to take care of everyone? If like a dog is hurt, you're supposed to go pet him. If like a child falls in the park, you're supposed to make sure they're okay and get out of your zone. You're responsible for everyone, and if once everyone's okay, only then your needs have to be met. That is such a deep program, you guys, in women.
And talk about the limiting belief.
And which one?
The belief is that our value.
Yeah, exactly. Our value comes from nurturing others. Our value comes from taking care of others.
And that's a limiting belief.
So women, because they have, many women have been raised in toxic masculine families, their value has been tied to what can you do for me, right?
Their value, their self-worth.
It's not that you're such a beautiful person and just by the fact that you are you and you are such a gift to this world, just by allowing your soul's light to shine. No, that's not, that would be in a perfect 5D family.
You have to take care of your boyfriend, you have to take care of your husband, you have to take care of your father, you have to give up all your dreams.
But we're told that we're not good enough. We're told that we're not worthy and that we have to earn our merits. And we will only be respected when we're taking, as women, I can so easily speak as a woman because I feel I'm so feminine in
I am so happy you have all these big fat muscles.
I feel like I channel the divine feminine frequency very clearly.
Very
and I can
beautifully.
And this is one of the challenges for me. I relate with children and women a lot more than I can relate with men.
The men are coming. The men are coming.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm getting there. But I'm channeling the divine feminine frequency for you guys right now and telling you that we have taken on everyone else's burden.
Yes.
And it is not that, so what we want to take as the next step is not to have this ferocious feminist kind of we don't want you to go and have a backlash with your husband and say, you know what, I'm not doing this shit anymore.
You're a bastard.
That's not how we, that's not spirituality. Spirituality, this is a very important point, you guys.
Okay, women, don't grow balls.
Eldora's fired you up like, oh, we're not doing this anymore. But that's not what it's all about.
All of a sudden the men are like, how come our wives got balls? Like, what has happened?
We don't want to,
that Eldora.
We don't want like 1,000 breakups tomorrow because of some live video we made. What we really want to transmit today, you beautiful women out there, is that Ascension is all about taking responsibility for how have we created the situation. And when we look at the limiting belief that I am responsible for everybody else's well-being, the first step is to drop that limiting belief. And then your behaviors will automatically change in a very peaceful, harmonic, and loving manner, right? So that's what we want. It's not about the burden's been placed on me. Now the golden age is here. I'm going to pass the ball back.
We don't want to be the rise.
Everyone needs to own their shit and say, I'm not doing this anymore. And something needs to change. And that conversation needs to happen in a very loving container.
Imagine if it became like toxic masculine to toxic feminine. No. That's not what we're doing. So what else did we want to talk about? Oh, yes. Another thing happened. So come closer in this frame. So right after I exited the cage, my soul flew out of the cage. I've had back-to-back breakthroughs. I talked about a little bit in my podcast. nems.love/podcast is where you can find it. And for those of you who want to come to the mushroom ceremony, we have 6 spots left. Tickets go up Sunday. I think right now the tickets are $49.99. They go up by $500 on Sunday. So if you guys are like on the verge of this major breakthrough, you just know that you're about to jump in your spiritual journey. You have never just had that container that can hold you for the masters that you are. this is the event, and we won't be doing another medicine ceremony until next year. So grab your tickets. We know that this is going to be a sold out retreat. This is the most powerful retreat you can possibly attend right now, because we're going to be taking you guys on mushroom journeys and facilitating all of these activations for you, healing your soul matrix so that you can align to your joy, your abundance. We're going to be seeing where in your chakras you're holding black magic and curses from past lives and distortion, so that you can truly align to the relationship of your dreams. It's all in your chakras. All distortions in your chakras are what you are seeing as a reflection in your outside lives. I repeat, everything, it's like the law of cause and effect. What you are inside is bringing you the tainted relationships or the distorted, like all these abundance blocks. And in this retreat, we're going to be working deep stuff. It's not going to be superficial. We're going to go in and remove everything that does not serve you. So you literally, in like 5 days, you can jump lifetimes. And that's a big statement, and I stand behind it. In 5 days, you can jump lifetimes of your spiritual evolution and set yourself free, like that cage. Like your whole life will change. Yeah. Imagine a better, more aligned soul relationship, more abundance, more freedom, more channeling. All of a sudden, you're maybe a healer, or you're like activated so much that you have all this clarity. You start channeling your guides. It's like a life changer. So if you guys want to get tickets, prices go up Sunday. Go to www, write this down, .nems.love. NEMS, which stands for New Earth Mystery School. So it's www.nems.love, and you'll see it on the homepage. We have 6 tickets left.
So just to recap quickly, we're talking about the Bacalar Mushroom Retreat, and we have limited spots remaining. Prices go up this Sunday. And people who come to us, usually they have breakthroughs about abundance, doubling their income, or they're in a bad relationship. They're not able to find that soul-aligned relationship, or they're newly awakening, or they've been awakening and walking this path for a while, but they're not finding their soul's direction, or they're stuck in a 3D career,
lonely,
but they're wanting to align with their passionate, excited business that they can express and share their gifts with the world. Also, some people who come to us are very successful already, but they're waiting for that next jump. You may be a millionaire, you may be doing very well in life, but you're waiting to remove those last few blocks that you can't really get into, and they're so deep in your DNA and in your subconscious that it takes a very skilled healer to look into those. That's what we do with our quantum metatronic healing modality, and especially when it's on mushrooms, it's like healing on steroids.
And we'll be having the time of our lives. It's going to be galactic dance parties under the stars, soul family, bonfire, do this for yourself. Do this for yourself.
Michael Williams is coming, so
amazing.
See you there.
So many people here I recognize are coming. Okay, so one other major thing, and we'll wrap up soon, one other major thing that happened when I flew out of the cage, it sounds so metamorphical, but it literally happened. My soul left the cage.
Honestly, we are all in this cage right now. All of us are in the cage of limiting beliefs. Even though it sounds funny, it's not funny.
It's not funny. I flew out of the cage. I felt it. It's not like my spirit flew out. It's not something you can do in a meditation. At least that's what I was told. If not, we would have done it. It's a moment in time where you've made the soul level decision. Enough's enough. I'm doing me. I'm doing me. I'm not here to be the sacrificial lamb. Guys, this is a channeled word coming in right now. This is not the time for us to be the sacrificial lamb. I want you to really absorb that. So right after this, Osho came in and he like disturbed all of this stuff, and he's like, fire the cage. Guess what? 2 days later, I'm like, I said to Saman, I have been wanting to do a red tent sisterhood circle, have ecstatic dance. I want to go to like the most fancy 5-star venues all over the world and host like women's only retreats and all these amazing women's containers. And he's like, oh yeah, we can do that. Yeah, that would be really nice. And I'm like, who's inviting you? And he's like, oh, come on. Like, it'll be nice. He says it'll be more powerful if I'm there.
I didn't say that.
You said that. He said because it's 2 of us versus 1. He's like, it'll be more. And I'm like, what are you eating?
I can hold space for women any day.
In the past, I'd be all over it. I'm like, I can't do it alone. Who's going to press my back at night if it hurts? Who's going to help me? Fuck that shit. I flew out of the cage and I'm like flying. I'm like, this house of Ra in Tulum, I'm having a red tent sisterhood circle where
Sisterhood of the Rose.
Sisterhood of the Rose, my Rose sisters. I cannot wait
And
to
for those
connect
of you who
with
don't
you.
know what the Sisterhood of the Rose frequency is,
You're coming,
it's
Isa.
the Christed
No, Dad,
divine
you're coming.
feminine Magdalene frequency. It's the Christed frequency. It's the divine feminine Sophia frequency.
Oh, you're
it's
so
the dragon
sweet.
frequency. And it is the most powerful frequency in this universe because Divine Mother is like the cosmic mother, and she's birthing the birth of this ascension, the birth of new earth. So we're all here celebrating this new birth.
And it's time for us sisters to come together. It's time for us to sit in circle and, you know, like do things like braid each other's hair and just love each other and dance. And I'm going to be leading a sisterhood of the Rose activation that's flowing through me. We'll do all kinds of fun things. And so that triggered Siman a bit. But you see how coming out of the cage, I'm dropping my own limitations. I'm telling you, before I wouldn't have done it. I'd be like, no. I need Siman to press my feet at night when I'm like, you know.
I'll still do that.
He'll still do that. But my point is, I just set myself free, you guys. So to wrap up, this is something that I'm going to leave you with. I'm sure this is a very inspiring video. You've really learned a lot from it. Oh, there's another major thing that's coming up. All of these imbalanced behaviors are happening, and I'm being asked to tell you guys this. 2 days ago, I ran into this one girl and she was crying. I actually was giving her a healing just out of the good, like I don't offer paid healings, as you know, as of now, I don't. We're teaching a healing modality soon in about a few months.
Quantum Metatronic healing.
If anyone's like interested about anything and you're like, oh my God, I need more information, just write to us. Go to our website and that's our hub, nems.love, nems.love. You can ask us anything. Write to us. Our guardians will reply to you. So we're teaching a Quantum Metatronic Healers Academy this fall. And I was giving her a healing. And you know what she said to me? She started crying. She said, Eldora, my boyfriend and I are happy. We have this clinic. And she says, I don't know what has gotten into him. He's making I was making with this boy, you know, this guy who worked in art. I was making all these mistakes. I was giving him loan after loan, forgiving all his no passion. He'd come to our retreats and not have passion. I'm like, guys, have some gratitude. You're being invited for free. You know what? Where was I going with this?
You were giving someone a healing?
Oh yeah. She said, my boyfriend is putting in all this money in the medical clinic. He's hiring, he's got this one guy, he won't let him go even though he's such a bad team member, such a bad employee. And she says, I don't know what it is. And this, you know what it is, guys? If you are in a relationship with someone or you yourself are behaving in a completely banana way, you know what this banana brain is? That's what it was for me, because I was enabling this young kid who I fell in love with. He was like a son to me. I was enabling him because there was a mother-son cord. Cords are either negative or they are positive. I had a codependency cord with him saying, I lost my son, now you'll be my son. And he's like, my parents don't want me and I don't want to work hard, so you're going to be my sugar mommy, for lack of a better word. I know this sounds a bit harsh, but that's how I feel, and I'm being very honest with my feelings right now.
Let's bring it back to you guys.
Yes.
Where in your life are you holding others and taking their burdens? Where are you holding yourself back? So let's say this is a very common theme in light workers, that I need to hold myself back because I need to ensure that my family ascends. Now, let's go deeper into that. You don't need to ensure anyone's ascension other than yourself. And second of all, you're not leaving anyone behind. The fact that we've created this belief that I need to stay back to ensure other people rise with me or spiritually evolve with me is just an excuse for holding yourself back. Okay, I'm going to say that again. The belief that we need to hold ourselves back to ensure other people's ascension is an excuse. It's a very lame excuse because we deep inside are afraid of our own power.
Bingo.
We are just saying, oh, I'm going to look here, I'm going to look there, I'm going to make sure.
My partner is in awakening, so I'll hold myself back.
Who said if you ascend that you're leaving anyone behind?
Yes.
That doesn't even make logical sense. Ascension doesn't mean that you go this way and your family goes this way. That's just an excuse.
You become the beacon, the way shore.
You just become an example.
And your family will either up-level with you or they'll wither away. Imagine if Jesus said, oh my God, the plight of humanity is so freaking bad. I'm just going to start going down and down and down and down and I'll wait for everybody. what would we do? Jesus was a way shower. He would always say, how can we ascend? How can we go higher up? How can we go in mastery?
We're not only doing ourselves a disservice, but by holding ourselves back, we're doing a disservice to everyone that we love, because we're also holding them back by not being shining beacons of light and examples for them to rise.
I loved this live. Are you guys loving that we're on live so freaking... Oh my God, another major thing. Since I flew out of the cage, we're going live more often.
Yeah.
You know why? This feminine frequency has just taken over our business. Before, our business was all about handling all the team members, and
it was
so
very
much
masculine.
work.
And
so
now
much
it's
work.
so in the flow, you guys. It's amazing.
We go to the beach. Saman's like getting a bit nervous. He's like, we haven't done any work. I'm like, just park your ass there. We're just going to meditate for an hour. He's like, okay. And our whole frequency is being led by this easy, feminine,
Divine feminine is so easy, you guys.
lifestyle.
It's like being in a spa all the time throughout
We still
through
work
your life.
hard.
We work hard, but it's not hard. It's not even work. It feels like play. We play hard, guys.
Yes.
Even when we're on our laptop, it feels like play. It feels like bliss is flowing through us and channeling words
and it's only when
events.
you channel that frequency, that source can channel
And
through
then
you.
your abundance also explodes because everyone in the audience can feel that freedom inside, and they want that freedom. Don't you guys want this freedom?
Imagine making
It's
a
our
million.
birthright.
I want you guys to imagine this, and I'll leave you with that. Hey, Yit Ying, I haven't seen you for so long. I haven't seen so many of you for so long. Nice to see all of you. Imagine a life where you're earning, I don't know, $1 million a year. Does that sound far-fetched to you? 4 years ago, when we had that Audi car crash, that was far-fetched to say, oh, just leave, you'll be on your soul's mission earning $1 million a year. That would be like, I don't know how to do that. And I'm telling you this, that in 4 years, we have achieved this back-to-back 2 years. We're in $1 million years. Not just $1 million years, fully aligned to our soul's highest passion. Fully here as the ambassadors of the divine. Not just that, we are here to show other spiritual teachers how it's done. Most spiritual teachers are broke as fuck.
In fact, our divine mission on earth is to create the blueprint of expanding our abundance, exploding our wealth, exploding our creativity, our joy, everything that we came here to do. And our main mission is to teach light workers how to do this for themselves. And it's very easy, you guys. Once you get the formula, once you start showing up for yourself, once you start attending events, once you start investing in courses and say, I'm done with playing small.
Invest in
yourselves. And
come to
you have to
mushroom
constantly take
retreat.
steps up, guys. You can't stay stuck where you are in life and say, this is all there is.
Because, you know, think about it. You're getting a free YouTube, you get a little bit. Now imagine if you set the intention to invest in yourself, you come now to a higher energy exchange. Now imagine you come to our leadership and business coaching or whatever, you go into a higher container, now you get a higher exchange. Now you imagine you come into our executive leadership and spiritual healing retreat, whatever. The higher you invest in yourself, the higher the energy exchange. That's just how the universal laws work. So start investing in yourselves. I fucking love you guys. Thank you for sharing your energy with us. Please share this live if it resonated. Share, tell your friends about us.
And
share
like,
our channel
subscribe.
with you. Do all the fun stuff, and keep us in your prayers, because we've got work to do. Our divine mission is just getting started and we've got work to do. So I ask you all to keep us in your prayers, because we need to stick together right now. We need to stick together like a frequency fence that the dark has no chance of meddling with. And ultimately, that's really what we're all stepping into, our divine missions.
We're just releasing the darkness that we carry, and nothing else remains but love.
Yes. And that's how we heal ourselves in Mother Earth. I love you guys. Oh my God. Somebody says Jesus is coming.
I had so much fun in this live.
I won't even
Thank you.
attend
It felt
Serafina,
like we're just like chilling on the couch with our homies.
Angelica is here. Serafina, your energy was so beautiful in this live. Thank you. Serafina is the latest addition to our team and she's a rock star. Bye everyone.
Bye you guys.
Love you.